Hi, welcome back to Waxing On. It's Friday, and I promised you a singer-songwriter. This is a lady from Western Canada, Alberta, multiple Juno winner, Grammy winner. She's done a lot of different styles of music, from country to singing with Elton John to performing with Tony Bennett. And I'm talking about K.D. Lange. Now, K.D. started out doing a lot of more country music, and right now, as she got into the more singing and songwriting, her music's getting harder to find, and that's what we've always found with singer-songwriters. Sometimes it's very hard to pigeonhole them into a specific style of music. And I find that with hers, it's hard to decide what you call that. She's kind of created a whole style of her own. I have 3 albums. One I just acquired recently. A good friend of mine dropped it off. Actually, Colleen, she dropped off a bunch of Christmas CDs, so we got a lot of treats for you lined up as we get a little later in the year. And as well, there was this one K.D. Lange one hidden in there, one called Invincible Summer. Just give you a quick look at the title there. Not a lot of tunes I recognized, but there's some interesting stuff. And one of the more interesting things on here, again for me, there's a song called When We Collide. Looking through it, and you know what? Came with a great booklet in there. Told me who's playing on it, and nothing I love better than that, because I find on that When We Collide, one of my friends, LA trumpet player Rick Baptist, is playing on there. John Funo, John Lewis, guys that are well known in the LA session and guys I like listening to, especially Rick. I mean, I can never get enough of what he's doing. All of a sudden, there's a nice surprise right in there. And thank you for the book for letting me know. But some great tunes here. Thanks very much again for the CD. We've got another one that I'm just going to touch on quickly. And this one's called K.D. Lange, Ingiru. And forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right. This one, probably the big hit off this album, was Constant Craving. Now, what's significant about this album, I'll just give you an idea what the set list is. Save Me, Mind of Love, Miss Chatelaine, again, that was kind of another big tune for her. Wash Me Clean, So It Shall Be, Still Thrives This Love, Seasons of Hollow Soul, Outside Myself, Tears of Love Recall, and Constant Craving. Significant on here, if you remember last week when we looked at the FM album, I told you Nash the Slash playing violin at that time. Once he left, he was replaced by a guy named Ben Mink. Ben Mink is all over this album. Ben Mink is co-writing most of the tunes with K.D. Ben Mink is producer as well as K.D. I mean, he really has taken over a lot of what this album's all about. Give you some idea, we've got, again, lots of information. We got all the tunes, sing along with them, find out who's playing. But Ben Mink really has a lot to offer. Yeah, if you've just seen the FM albums and thought, oh, he's just playing violin, he's just doing that, he does so much more than that. And you can really see what he's putting out there and his impact on this album with K.D. Lange. A lot of the songs, like I say, he's co-written quite a few of them, produced the album. Certainly worth checking out. I'm going to move on to the one I really want to talk to you about, but this is another one worth giving a listen to. Okay, the album I really want to get down to, K.D. Lange, Hymns of the 49th Parallel. You may recognize the 49th Parallel. That's that horizontal line that kind of separates Canada from the U.S. More noticeable out in the western part of the country before we get into all the lakes and that, but it's that latitude we have that kind of divides us. Okay, and maybe it's a little bit of a foreshadowing on what's going to be on the album, because it's K.D. doing songs by a lot of great Canadian writers, and you're going to recognize some of these people right off. For Song After the Gold Rush, the Neil Young classic. We've got Simple, one by Lange and Pilch. We got Helpless, another Neil Young classic. Neil Young probably did this one with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, or just may have recorded that on his own as well after the Gold Rush. Certainly that was solo Neil Young we were hearing. A Case of You, Joni Mitchell, another great folk singer from Canada. We've got The Valley by Jane Seabury. We got Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen. And we touched on Leonard Cohen during the Elton John segment last week. This Hallelujah tune, I mean, that was just a monster hit for everybody that recorded it. If I'm not wrong, tell me, was that not in Shrek? I'm checking with my producers over here. I think that was actually in Shrek, maybe. We're just going to double check that, and we'll get a ruling from them in a minute. But I mean, a monster hit. KD does an excellent version of that by Leonard Cohen. One Day I Walked, Bruce Cockburn, another great Canadian writer. Here's one of my other favorite, Fallen by Ron Sexsmith. You remember we talked about him, I guess it was about last year. Ron was performing a couple solo performances, doing some stuff with the Winter Jazz Festival in Ottawa. He's got great albums. He's got another one coming out this fall, so you might want to check that out. But Fallen by Ron Sexsmith. Another Joni Mitchell tune, Jericho. And another Leonard Cohen tune, Bird on a Wire. Now, some of you may remember hearing that song way back when Joe Cocker covered it, I think, on his second album. And it was a standard of Cocker's material as well. Another Cohen tune. And wrapping up the album is another tune by Jane Seabury. Excuse me, a lot of great Canadian writers. KD's picked some excellent tunes out of there, and she just does a great version of all of them. The album's called Hymns of the 49th Parallel. Anything back on that, girls?
Yes.
It was Shrek. There you go. I was right on that one. So Hallelujah from Shrek. I don't think he wrote it for Shrek, but you know, that's how it goes. A few more pennies in the pocket for that one, right, guys? Okay, K.D. Lange, great Canadian singer, performer, award winner, does some excellent albums on her own. One of my favorites, and because of all the great material she covered and the great writers she featured, Hymns of the 49th Parallel. Again, all these albums available on streaming networks, a chance for you to check out. If you've never listened to any of the artists we've talked to this week, a great chance to sit down and give a listen to somebody brand new. I mean, I can't get over how easy it is to access this music. You got to remember, back in my day, if I wanted to check out somebody new, I had to line up the record store and lay down some cash and actually buy an album to find out if I liked it. And I maybe would, maybe I wouldn't. A lot of times with some of some more obscure stuff, I had to actually order it in. And again, that wasn't cheap, and you had a long wait to get it. I can't imagine right now, you could watch this show and go to your computer, go to your iPad, go to your phone, and listen to it right now. You've got all that material available to you in seconds, and a chance to check out some great performers. I mean, there's so many there that a lot of people listen to one style of music, they don't check out many others. This is a chance to kind of explore and find some new territory, find some new performers at the cost of nothing. And it only takes a second. So take advantage of that. I don't want to say you don't know how good you have it, you probably do, but compared to us old timers that didn't have it that well, boy, it's a great treat. And I do that all the time. I go back and check out a lot of old albums or a lot of performers that I've never heard of because I just never had the opportunity. So yeah, check out the streaming networks, but keep in mind some pay better than others. So make sure you're putting a little more money in the pocket of the artist as well. Okay, hard copies, always a great thing. So don't negate that as well. Because with the hard copies, hey, you get the books. You get a little reading material, you get a little information. That's my downplay on the streaming networks. I don't get the information. I don't know who's playing on those songs. I don't know when it was recorded, where it was recorded, who the people were. And to me, that stuff is really a lot of fun. Anyways, I digress. I don't digest. I digress there. I'm off on another whole rant. Let's go back to the music. K.D. Lange. Check it out this weekend. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe. Take care. We'll see you on Monday.